From the News 19 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Efren Afante. Need to give you a winter and freezing cold update, or basically the polar plunge that's about to go through most of the United States, and that includes us here in the Palmetto State. Now, the storm complex that came through that gave us all the heavy rainfall and the nearly severe storms on Friday, that weather complex is just cranking away in New England. A lot of heavy rainfall coming through. A lot of winter storm warnings and advisories out in New England. But watch this. We currently have winter weather storm watches, warnings, and advisories for the northern plains, the Great Lakes region, and a big swath of the central and southern plains, as well as the Mississippi Valley and the Tennessee Valley. That's one complex. There's another one that's just out to the west in the northern four corners, going into areas of the interior west coast into Cascadia. That's a second weather complex, and all of this is winter precipitation, whether it's sleet, snow, or a mix of everything. But nevertheless, these winter storm warnings extend just to the west of our neighbors. In addition to that, a good portion of the country as of Saturday night, from the northern plains all the way into the northern Rockies, extended all the way down into the central plains, and then into the heartland, up into the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, and even a little area in between, right on the state line of Florida and Georgia. These are all either frost advisories, freeze watches, or freeze warnings. And yes, that extends all the way further south. In fact, in the area of the Dallas Metroplex, all the way to to Texarkana, they're under a hard freeze warning for Saturday night. There is a gigantic pool of very cold air, and it's deepening as we go throughout the next several hours. Right now, with the very, very cold air typical in Canada, from the Arctic Circle all the way to the U.S. northern border. That was Saturday night. A lot of that cold air already penetrated south of the border, made its way through most of the central northern U.S. early this morning. And as of Saturday evening, that cold air has now dropped as far south as I-40 and as far east as the Adirondacks and Appalachians, and it extends well past the Rockies. In fact, you're talking about a wind chill right now in Reno, Nevada of 41. Oklahoma City is at -2 wind chill, Cincinnati at 19, but it gets worse. We're in the 30s and upper 20s for wind chills on Saturday night in the northern plains and northern Rockies. And that cold air is not only going to continue surging south, but due to the jet stream, that cold air is going to make its way through the Mississippi Valley and wrap its way around into the southeast Atlantic coastline, us. This is what it was as of Saturday night. Wind chills were already in the 30s in the Tennessee Valley, down into the 40s in Little Rock, but areas that's not pointed out in the Central Plains were already in the wind chills in the 20s and quickly dropping. Not really that noticeable. Wind chills in the 40s when you get south of Interstate 20, but the problem is this. There's nothing going on. Even with a southerly flow Saturday evening coming out of the Gulf, the upper level positioning of all the cold air is coming down. It's going to make its way across the Tennessee Valley, and it's going to settle right on into South Carolina. So pretty much everyone from the Carolina coastline all the way across into Oklahoma and Texas, and everyone in between is going to be dealing with this very cold air mass. The cold air mass is going to affect us far more overnight than it will in the morning. But either way, that cold air is here. Here's a forecast for Monday. Now, we're talking about temperatures in the 20s, maybe 30s, west of the Mississippi River and into the Tennessee Valley. Those will be the high temperatures. And with the precipitations expected to come through, yes, these areas that are in the teens and 20s very likely will have a mix of either sleet, snow, or nothing but snow. Notice, though, by Monday afternoon, it's nowhere near us. In fact, it cuts off pretty much in areas crossing from Birmingham right through Tuscaloosa and all the way down into Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That's Monday afternoon. That cold air is going to still continue to push its way through and to get all the way down to the coast by the time we get to Tuesday night. And this is the trend that we're looking at here in the capital city. While temperatures on Monday will be in the low 30s, and it's in the mid 30s Tuesday morning. Our average low temperature is 34. By Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, morning lows will be in the low to mid 20s to start off, and that'll be just before sunrise. So that cold air is going to push right on through by Tuesday, and we'll definitely start feeling it by late Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. So again, to recap, there is a lot of cold air that's already pushed through the United States, and more of that is going to be pushing through. That cold air dynamics is enough with precipitation that winter storm watches, advisories, and warnings are strewn all throughout the central U.S. with another weather complex that's out to the west. All of this will be moving to the south and to the east. So we'll get precipitation, but we won't be as cold. But the cold air mass is already in place for a good 2/3 of the country, from the northern to central plains, from Cascadia and the high northern Rockies all the way to the Ohio Valley. And that cold air is going to be pushing down to us. And although the southeast Atlantic, the Carolinas and Georgia, at least for the most part, are not under any freeze watch warning or advisories, the cold air will be on its way, because all that cold Arctic air in Canada has already made its way into the U.S., and it's right on our doorstep, just into the Appalachians and across the Tennessee Valley. And by the time we get into late Tuesday night, we're definitely going to start feeling the cold air moving through, because that cold air, 30s may be cold, but by the time we get to Wednesday, we'll be in the morning 20s, and expect that right through next weekend. We're going to continue to monitor the conditions as the cold snap that's going to hit South Carolina comes in by early to mid next week. And not only is it going to last for the entire next week, but a sneak peek, we may be dealing with 20s again by the end of next weekend and into the following week. From the News 19 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Efren Afante.